He wants to save
Thanks, Ben.
you from yourself, I guess. What is he trying to do? What do you think about this white dude telling you that you are pro-genocide?
Bro, it's so insane because like I've said it like publicly. It's like even with like Hassan or whatever, it's like there are some people that just have the ability to turn their like I guess you could say victim card on and off, right? Like, you know, it's easy to be Muslim when it's convenient, just if you want that victim card on, you're like a brown skinned person, but it's like I live it every day, you know, like I can't turn that off. So when I see guys like Noah come in and tell me what I shouldn't and should not.
Listen, okay, let me just tell you guys something really quickly, all right? As someone who grew up Muslim, I would fast during every Ramadan. I would do all of the things that you're supposed to do. I never smoked, I never drank, I never gambled. I never was, I mean, my parents were pretty strict also. I always was home before 9 p.m., okay? I never ate pork, all right? I did all of the things, okay? And I will tell you, okay? There comes a time in most American Muslim lives where, not all, but most, where they realize, actually, I'm okay to bend the rules a little bit in the ways that I want. And Mudahar does that as well, okay? Just like I do it, just like Frogan does it, just like Hassan does it, just like every Muslim person does it, okay? Not every single, because there are a lot of practicing Muslims that do try and follow the strictest version of that religion. But every religion has a vast majority of people that are just like, I don't necessarily subscribe to all of these policies. Just like Christians. Just like there are hardcore Christians that try and follow every single fucking rule, there are also Muslim people that also, in general, though, I will say Muslim people, their favorite rule to not break is the pork one. It's really funny because you meet a lot of Muslim people who they'll drink and they'll smoke and they'll gamble and they'll get tattoos and they'll do all of these things, right? Premarital sex, whatever, but they won't eat pork. Like they're like, no, I can't do that. That crosses the line. I love it. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's great. Which, like, I think that one's more because it's, like, ingrained in you that, like, when you grow up Muslim, you grow up thinking that, like, pigs are dirty and you shouldn't eat them because of that. So I think, like, it stays in your brain. Also, as a personal thing, it might also be a bit of an acquired taste because I feel like when I tried pork, I was like, damn, this kind of is not that good. And then I tried a lot more. And I was like, yeah, bacon's okay, I guess. And now that I've like had enough time to process it, I'm like, actually, beef is better. Actually, I'm sorry, beef is just better. And then like chicken is just better macro wise. So like to be clear, no, pulled pork is still really good. Really good pulled pork sandwiches go hard. It's just that there aren't a lot of good pulled pork places in LA. When I've been to a couple southern states, then I will get pulled pork. Then I will get that. That's good. That's fucking good as hell. But otherwise, yeah, I'm kind of a beef enjoyer. Anyways, all of that is to say, it's so funny to moral grandstand as Mudahar here because he's like, well, I grew up Muslim and I will tell you, Hassan doesn't practice it. It's like, bitch, I know you don't practice it, okay? Bitch, I know that you don't. I'm sure you drink. I'm sure you've smoked. I'm sure you've gambled. Please stop pretending like you have any fucking high ground to stand on here. Oh my God, please. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Come on. Also, he doesn't even claim to practice anyways. I mean, well, that's what he's saying. He's saying like, well, he likes to claim it when he wants to, but it's like, huh? Also, this is another point of contention that I have, which is different countries have different ways that are considered traditional to practice religions. So every single Turkish person I've ever met, they drink. And I remember the first time I met a Turkish person, and they were like, they were on a student exchange program here in like the States. And I was like, we were outside and they went and got like a beer. And I was like, this is back when I was a baby Muslim. I was like, oh, but I thought you were Muslim. And she's like, yeah, but we drink beer in Turkey. And I was like, oh. really? She's like, yeah, it's okay. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess. Oh, I didn't know that you could do that. I didn't know that you could be Muslim and train. Oh, all right. Oh, so like again, different countries practice religion differently. Like, and this is why there's so much, I think, anti-Arab hate and anti-Muslim hate. It's because when Americans think of like Muslim people, they think of like a woman wearing a burqa, and that's their only understanding of it. And they're like, obviously, all types of Islam are evil and uniquely bad. Because I know that I've seen it be mandatory. And it's like, wait. You know, different countries are different, right? How hardcore the practicing religion is there is different. Do you think every country that has a majority Muslim population, all the women are forced to wear burqas? Do you really think that? Over the course of like what, 20-ish countries, I think? With like what, I think it's at least 500 million people I think are practicing Muslims. Might be more than that. I could be mistaken. Muslim population. Oh, it's 2 billion. It's close to 2 billion. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm way off. I'm way off. Okay. Do you really think out of those 2 billion people, you really think that all the ones that are living in Arab countries, Muslim countries, they like to call it Sharia law countries, think all of those women are wearing burqas? What are you, dumb?
It starts with just a beer, and next thing you know, you were playing Balatro in between league matches.
But why are you right?
I feel, especially when I've grown in that environment. Like I've grown up in a Muslim household, various degrees of conservative Muslim household too, like depending on how far, like if you go to my grandparents and stuff. So it's just, when I was in that video talking about like my piece towards the end, that came from like a personal experience, something that I highly doubt Noah's been through. So it's just, it's shocking that when I'm not on their side, when I'm not on the accepted side, I'm just the Uncle Tom. I'm fucking out of it. Like, I don't know what I'm saying.
No, I think like everybody has correctly clocked you as a pussy who's too afraid to take a hard stance on this issue and say that Israel is committing a genocide and that Israel is doing reprehensible things and that all of our support should be with the Palestinian people who are trying to not live in an apartheid state, and that you shouldn't defend people like Asmongold, you shouldn't defend people like Ethan Klein, you shouldn't defend these people who spend so much time playing defense for Israel. That's what people criticize you for. And then what do you say? You're like, well, I think that a genocide is happening. I think that. I think it's bad. See, I'm on your side. It's like, it doesn't work like that. You can't just like pretend to be brave because you can what? Read the ICJ ruling.
Bring mine spotted.
Like that's not being brave. You explicitly said, well, I don't want to talk about it because it's really complicated.
It's just annoying. It's like, fuck this guy. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like it's always like, listen to the diverse voices. Listen to what they're saying. Oh, this guy disagreeing, nah, he supports genocide. Don't worry about him. Saying like the worst.
Also, like, anyone who pretends to care about moral relativism is like a fucking idiot, all right? These people would never defend moral relativism. I mean, like, imagine, can you imagine him being upset that somebody else is criticizing Ben Shapiro for shitty things that he said? And being like, wow, I can't believe you would do that. I can't believe you would say something. You know that that person is part of that group, right? Or like, do you think he would say that about Candace Owens? People who criticize Candace Owens? If I criticize Candace Owens, I'm not black. If I criticize her and say that, yeah, functionally, she is a white supremacist. Do you think that Ethan Klein would suddenly care about moral relativism and say like, well, I can't believe you, being not in that in-group, would dare to criticize her just because she has a different opinion? It's like, no. Her opinion is devoid of empathy, and it's wrong.
Shit possible about you. Like, why the fuck do they target you with the
Uncle for life?
the worst shit possible?
Thank you, Foolish Samurai.
So like I normally like I wouldn't even get into the.
Sorry, can I get an idea? Because again, I couldn't watch this by myself. I'll stop pausing as much because I want to get through it within today, ideally. But once if you saw this segment, twos if you didn't. I don't know, 2.5 if you saw parts of it.
Legal trenches of this, right? Because it's like I'm not at the stage you're at where it's like fuck it, I'm just gonna go. Like I'm in the trenches. Like normally I wouldn't because it's kind of like an apprehensive thing. But when Noah puts me up as like a genocide supporter, right, and like a thumbnail and everything, and I watch his videos, like it's insane because I've had my own lawyers. Like I've sat down and spent billable hours. We watched his videos. And we're just like sitting there like, where the fuck does he get off saying this kind of shit? Like dude, I have a fucking legal bill that I'm looking at for all, like it's part of like the fucking accounting. It doesn't make any sense anymore. Like I look at everything that he says and I just think like, how do you get out? And it was my wife that came in and she's like, listen, it's kind of like calling you a predator, like a child predator or something.
Totally.
Right? Like, you know, you could, it's one thing if somebody says something about me that like, you know, whatever, it's not going to cause me harm at the end of the day. Like it's just internet beef. This is like, you might as well call me the worst thing imaginable. Yep. And at some point, like I'm going to have to respond to you. And if me, like, because I don't want to do this thing where I make like a video back and forth. Like I don't want to feed into like nonsense drama if it's not going to do anything. I'd rather it be in a public record, if that's the only way to like defend ourselves at all, you know?
100%.
It seems like it is.
Yeah, and previously when I've gotten into like...
Oh, not too big on the marketplace of ideas anymore?
H3 is falling off. And as I predicted, the more that Ethan Klein obsesses over Hassan, the more and more of his fans fall off. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good luck, Ethan. You're gonna need it.
So come brothers and sisters, for the struggle carries on. Listening to Mike from PA unites the world in song.
I want to talk about my favorite topic, but I want to have fun. And that is Bad and Panada making fun of Ethan Klein. Bad and Panada continues to be the funniest source of Ethan Klein trolling. I will continue to support unreservedly and uncritically Bad and Panada. Uncritical support for Bad and Panada.
Ethan Klein sent what basically amounts to like a stern letter to Noah Samson, threatening to sue him.
He and Mudahar together teamed up, and we sent a demand for retraction to Noah Samson Monday night after the show.
And I didn't even talk about this, have I? The Noah Samson demand letter is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It legitimately looks like it was written by ChatGPT. I can't even believe anyone would take it seriously. My personal opinion is, if Ethan Klein wants to file lawsuits, he may actually be the first person in history to lose an anti-slap motion on both sides at the same time. What I mean by that is he loses an anti-slap motion for his speech while being hit with an anti-slap motion for his lawsuits against somebody else to stifle their speech. I think he might be the first person in history to successfully lose both sides of an anti-slap motion at the same time.
I would love to go over the whole letter with you, but Ethan Klein made sure to dox me, so I don't want to go over it because he doxed.
Yeah, that's the reason why I didn't do it, because I don't think Bad and Panada's full name has been published anywhere, and Ethan Klein has been publishing it in an attempt to dox the guy.
There's something that Ethan Klein does not talk about anymore. He used to talk about it a lot, but not anymore. Ethan Klein is set to lose millions upon millions upon millions of dollars in an actual real defamation lawsuit because he kept pushing the buttons of a guy who's way richer than him, a guy who used to be a billionaire. And just a few days ago, he ended up losing the most important part of that defamation lawsuit. He lost the anti-slap suit, and then he lost the anti-slap appeal, and he was ordered to pay all of the expenses of the plaintiff. And this is why Ethan Klein is like desperately trying to frame himself as some sort of legal warrior who's in the right all the time now to his audience by like...
How is Ethan Klein's viewership right now? H3 podcast. How are we doing? How are we doing right now? Noah Samson exposed as a massive creep. 563,000 views. Noah Samson is screwed. His viewership is falling. He used to get, you could literally just scroll down and see that on his average video. He used to get millions. And they're just falling off more and more and more and more. Ooh, the poker showdown. He didn't do too well in the poker showdown. Dentist needed. Oh, God. Dan Clancy must resign as Twitch CEO.
Dan Clancy or whatever, like the CEO of Twitch. And be
Pedophile. Okay, well, maybe not, but maybe like...
Yeah, I would definitely sue this motherfucker. Like, holy shit.
You can't say in good conscience that you know for sure he's not a pedophile. I didn't say he is.
Yes, you did.
I said pedophile. All I said is pedophile. I don't know for sure.
Election night only got 600,000. If he was still working with Hassan, this would be triple the number. Hassan had like millions upon millions of views on election day. He really punted that, huh? Snark called Child Protective Services on us. No evidence, by the way. No evidence that this happened. They just claim this with no evidence, no proof whatsoever. They just say Snark did it. Noah Samson, retract or lawyer up. And it's funny, like, you know, listen, is H3 podcast bigger than me? Yeah, they're a bigger show than me. I'm a single person who created this show, you know, on Twitch with no help. If we just go to my channel, 667,000. We are orders of magnitude closer to them now than they are to Hassan. And if we go to Hassan, like, I'm rising and they're falling.
The rules are allowed under the act, which grants the president authority to detain her.
Shut up, Hassan. So the H3 podcast, 276,000 views, streamed 17 hours ago. Hassan's streamed yesterday, 734,000 views. H3 is officially smaller than Hassan.
Nice. We're pulling ahead.
And that's just his viewership on Twitch, which isn't even focused on like view counts. It's about hours watched. If you actually compared the hours watched between Hassan and H3, I would bet you Hassan is at least 3 to 5 times bigger as far as hours watched.
Losing A.
Yikes. Oof.
Sending frivolous slap legal threats to Noah Samson and stuff, and threatening to sue like 50 people at once, and threatening to sue like Reddit moderators and stuff. And the reason is that he's actually getting fucked in an actual real lawsuit really bad.
Ethan only does 9 hours a week. Ethan Klein
Hostile UAV established overhead.
is crashing out for one reason and one reason alone. Ethan Klein is now significantly of a smaller streamer than Hasanabi. Even though Hassan is just a single guy streaming on his own, Hassan gets 3 times as much viewership from views, and his shows are twice as long, or if not longer. H3 is falling off. And as I predicted, the more that Ethan Klein obsesses over Hassan, the more and more of his fans fall off. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good luck, Ethan. You're gonna need it.
Years ago, Ethan Klein streamed a couple of seconds of a pay-per-view like boxing YouTuber boxing thing with like Jake Paul, and he ended up getting sued for that by Triller Media, who owned the distribution rights to that. For this lawsuit by Triller Media, Ethan Klein he blamed the CEO of Triller Media, Ryan Kavanaugh, who was at one point a billionaire, is not anymore apparently. Maybe he is, I don't know. He personally blamed the CEO for that copyright claim, and he started like basically dedicating segments of his show to like saying that Ryan Kavanaugh like was guilty of doing a Ponzi scheme or something. A couple of days ago, Ethan Klein's anti-slap appeal. He already lost the original anti-slap motion, and he appealed it, and he lost the appeal, which pretty much par for the course, I would say. You know, that seems about like what you would expect. By the way, his lawyer, I just want to note, and you'll love this one. Now, you might know that Ethan Klein has said repeatedly that West Bank settlers are fair game. Let me just show you a little clip of that from the content nuke, Hassan Piker.
The West Bank are religious zealots, they're monsters, they're genocidal.
I've even said the West Bank settlers are valid military targets. When you talk about like colonial settlers and stuff like that's what's actually happening in the West Bank right now. And these people are more or less valid military targets, in my opinion.
Okay. Now,
yeah, they're valid military targets, but if you shoot them, the Israeli military will drop a bomb on you and send a tag to your house. And that's paid for by American tax dollars. So how, you know, it's like, if you think that Israel is committing genocidal war crimes and illegal settlement, how could you complain about resistance against the Israeli government? The Israeli government co-signs and subsidizes those illegal settlements and commits the crimes. So it's like saying, how dare you attack Nazi Germany?
Now. I want to introduce you. Now. I'm so excited. I want to introduce you to Ethan Klein's lawyer, Ron Bar-Nissim. Prior to entering law, Bar-Nissim was an English teacher in Israel and the West Bank. I wonder.
In addition, he co-authored a public comment on behalf of the visual art social networking platform DeviantArt. And that's how we know. That's where Ethan found him. DeviantArt. Check those hard drives. Check those hard drives.
Discussion goes. Ethan Klein thinks that his lawyer is a valid military target. I wonder how that goes over at lunch. I'm so pro-Palestine that my lawyer is a former West Bank settler, Ron Bar-Nissim. That is the most I changed my name to sound more indigenous name you'll ever see. It's giving Maximus Aurelius. I said it's giving. So anyway, apart from the lawyer being very funny, aside from that one thing, genocide, Ethan Klein's lawyer tries to claim that Noah Samson saying things like Ethan Klein erroneously cited Saudi Arabian propaganda to try and claim that the Houthis were slavers. He tries to claim that is a defamatory statement. Again, that's a statement about like a fucking argument on like the facts regarding news and history and politics and stuff. You can't litigate that. Ethan Klein essentially paid his lawyer to ask ChatGPT to debunk 2 bad empanada videos because he is like incapable of debunking the videos himself, so he paid.
He's supposed to be a commentary YouTuber. Why doesn't he just make a video? Why doesn't Ethan Klein just make a video? This is the problem with Ethan Klein. He doesn't understand politics or law in even the most rudimentary fashion, right? So he's continually getting owned. And whatever people encounter something that Ethan Klein knows about, or that they know about that Ethan Klein is talking about, they stop listening to him because he's wrong on it and he looks stupid. So every day he's talking about shit, he's losing more and more fans. Because you may trust Ethan Klein, but you know, then he starts talking about something you know about. And you're like, wait a minute, that's not right, that's wrong. And it starts causing you to question the stuff he says about things you don't know about. And you start looking it up. You start looking at, you know, watching me. You start watching Hassan. You start watching Bad Empanada, and you realize, like, oh, no, he's dumb as fuck. He was wrong about everything. When you compare what Ethan Klein says to neutral third-party sources, when you say what Ethan Klein says and you look about what experts say, it always is out of alignment. He only aligns with one group consistently, and that's the Israeli state.
Ethan Klein is afraid to go out in public. This is someone who he claims that I am like I'm in hiding from.
Okay, this is the funniest part of the video, and I'm so glad we got to it quickly. Ethan Klein apparently is afraid to leave his home.
people who want to come after me and I'm scared to leave my house. And he straight up admits on his stream that he is afraid to go out in public. This is a man of the people. Meanwhile, I just go out every single day.
Me too.
People greet me in the street and they're like, Bad Empanada, will you sign my breasts? And I'm... Oh, you slag, get away from me.
Dana, speak up for me.
It's scheduled.
No, we know that's part of the issue.
She's busy.
You scheduled it 1 month ahead.
She's so busy. Yeah,
Right,
she's very,
Nina?
Who cares? Well, you need a special. You're shaving your head. Go to Supercuts.
I don't go in public.
You could get someone.
You can go to Supercuts right now.
We're
Be done in
loyal
10
to
minutes.
the-
You understand about
haircut.
I don't go in public.
No, he's right, Dan.
Yeah,
He's
Dan.
right. I mean,
But there's other barbers that come to your house, or like could come.
We
to the
don't know
studio.
that.
This man is afraid to go out.
Look how many sycophants this fucking loser has. Look how many servants he has. No wonder he talks so tough. He's behind his like 8 security walls. Oh man. Meanwhile, I do all my shopping in Rodeo Drive because that's where the locals shop, chat. And I haven't seen him there yet.
Side. This is the guy who claims that like I have people coming after me. This is someone.
By the way, that's a joke. It's a reference. Ethan Klein said that the locals of LA shop at Rodeo Drive, which is a famous shopping street that's like notoriously overpriced. And he was like, the locals shop there.
He's so afraid of the repercussions of the vile shit that he has said that he's afraid to leave his fucking house. Unbelievable. There was a clip as well where he was like saying, oh, you want to come at me? I do this for fun. This is what I do in my free time in regards to like trying to like stalk and dox people and file frivolous lawsuits against them and shit like that. Now, listen to Ethan Klein's incredible rant about me. It's honestly just sad.
But that's okay. None of them are as dedicated, as crazy, and as willing to waste money as I am. But Georgie Boy thinks he's safe out there. But he's not. He's just never really come up against someone like me. I'll just be honest. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I have more money than them. I'm more dedicated.
He has more money. So he has more money. Ethan Klein, he's a really tough foe because he's got a lot of money.
Ethan, not every country is like the USA. You can't just file frivolous lawsuits like you can in the USA. Money's not going to get you anywhere else.
Dedicated than them. I've completely fucking...
You're more dedicated? Dude, you're not dedicated at all. You're the laziest fucker in the world.
Thrown. Maybe it's not worth it to spend $1 million pursuing some fucking human STD in Argentina. No, that's gone.
You're not going to have $1 million once Kavanaugh's done with you.
See, that's gone. When you guys contributed to an atmosphere in which the CPS was called on my house, when you specifically...
They were called on your house because you yourself said on your own live stream that your kid had contracted the parasite Giardia, and then you went on to say that you thought that it was from eating shit. That's why.
Okay, he didn't exactly say that, but he implied it. The other thing is, we don't know who called CPS. He's just making shit up. And Ethan Klein doesn't have any evidence. He just lies about it so that he can make his enemies look bad in a situation where he's looking bad. As I said from the beginning, and I'm going to say it again, if Ethan Klein just shut the fuck up, if he had just broke up with Hassan, remained cordial, and just stopped talking about Israel-Palestine and gone back to his goofs and gaffs or whatever the fuck he supposedly did, and kept his content to farting in Denny's, which is, other than, I know 2 Ethan Klein jokes. Him farting in a green screen Denny's and Vape Nation from 10 years ago. That's the only thing that I've seen of Ethan Klein's content that was like funny. Oh, wait. I'm lying. There's one other thing. I remember that he proposed to his wife while sitting on the toilet.
Distance means nothing.
I remember this. He proposed to his wife by sitting on the toilet and then asking her to bring in butt wipes because he was taking a shit. And then he told her, open the butt wipes, and the engagement ring was in the butt wipes. Those are the 3 things I know. Those are the 3 things I know from Ethan Klein. Farting in Denny's, Vape Nation, and proposing to his wife on the shitter. One of my normie friends was like, oh, so what's going on with Ethan Klein? I used to like his podcast, like generally concerned and like, why is he doing this? The funny thing is that he has absolutely no shooters. It's wild. Like, I thought Ethan Klein was more popular than he actually is. He's unpopular. Like, he is actually legitimately unpopular. It just, like, more people hate the guy than like the guy. It's crazy. Every Ethan defender I see is a voter seller. Yeah. Literally every single person who is an Ethan Klein, like, I hate Hassan and Mike and Denims and Casey Trump. Notice that the people they're targeting are not Ethan's enemies necessarily. They are Destiny's enemies that they're laundering through Ethan. So, because they're all embarrassed to be Destiny fans, right? Like, a lot of these people that defend Ethan Klein, they unfollowed Destiny, but they still follow like every single Destiny orbiter, including Dan Can't Stream, Dan Saltzman. Say what you will about Destiny, he at least has his like 500 incel minions that follow him around. He eventually fully crashed out against everyone he ever made content with. It's fucking weird.
So you might have heard that Ethan Klein sent what basically amounts to like a stern letter to Noah Samson, threatening to sue him. And I would love to go over the whole letter with you, but Ethan Klein made sure to dox me, so I don't want to go over it because he doxed me in it. However, we will talk about it nonetheless. Firstly, though, I want to go over the reason why he's doing this, and he hasn't been talking about this. He's been keeping his fans on the down low about this. It's nothing to do with any of this Israel-Palestine stuff. Absolutely nothing to do with it. There's something that Ethan Klein does not talk about anymore. He used to talk about it a lot, but not anymore. Ethan Klein is set to lose millions upon millions of dollars in an actual real defamation lawsuit because he kept pushing the buttons of a guy who's way richer than him, a guy who used to be a billionaire. And just a few days ago, he ended up losing the most important part of that defamation lawsuit. It was decided that Ethan Klein had defamed this guy. All that there is left is to establish damages. He lost the anti-SLAPP suit, and then he lost the anti-SLAPP appeal, and he was ordered to pay all of the expenses of the plaintiff. The thing with anti-SLAPP, at least in California, from what I have read, because I read a couple of legal articles on this before streaming about it, once the anti-SLAPP motion is defeated, the defamation part of the lawsuit is established. The trial is now only to establish damages. So it has been ruled essentially that he defamed the guy. And this guy he used to be a billionaire. I'd assume he still has hundreds of millions of dollars, so he's going to get totally fucked here. I don't think there's any settling here. There's no settling at this point. You can't settle at this point, can you? Why would the guy want to settle when he's in the driver's seat? And this is why Ethan Klein is like desperately trying to frame himself as some sort of legal warrior who's in the right all the time now to his audience by like sending frivolous slap legal threats to Noah Samson and stuff, and threatening to sue like 50 people at once, and threatening to sue like Reddit moderators and stuff. And the reason is that he's actually getting fucked in an actual real lawsuit really bad. So the story behind this lawsuit is that years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, Ethan Klein streamed a couple of seconds of a pay-per-view like boxing YouTuber boxing thing with like Jake Paul or whichever the other Paul. I don't know which one is the boxing Paul. One of them. And he ended up getting sued for that by Triller Media, who own the distribution rights to that pay-per-view event. And for this lawsuit by Triller Media, Ethan Klein, he blamed the CEO of Triller Media, Ryan Kavanaugh, who was at one point a billionaire, is not anymore apparently. Maybe he is, I don't know. He personally blamed the CEO for that copyright claim, and he started like basically dedicating segments of his show to like saying that Ryan Kavanaugh like was guilty of doing a Ponzi scheme or something constantly, and just like he made websites like, does Ryan Kavanaugh look like Harvey Weinstein? And like just like trying to push this guy's buttons on every single show that he did. And just to be clear, I highly doubt that the CEO of this company had anything to do with the legal team trying to sue him personally. Like obviously he's the CEO, he has something to do with it, but it's not like he's the one who ordered it. Nonetheless, Ethan Klein decided that he was responsible for that and that he would like say a bunch of shit about this guy. And the story behind the defamation lawsuit, which is the one that he is set to lose, is that there was an article in Variety, the entertainment news outlet Variety, which claimed that Ryan Kavanaugh had like carried out a Ponzi scheme. Variety retracted this article within a week, and then Ethan Klein kept citing that article repeatedly, like literally, if you look at the lawsuit, which we will in a minute, He literally cited that article hundreds of times on his podcast, and Ryan Kavanagh's lawyers had a fucking field day listing all the times that he cited it after it was already retracted to try and make it out like this guy had, like the Ponzi scheme allegation was 100% confirmed or whatever. And to be clear, this Ryan Kavanagh guy doesn't exactly seem like he's a better person than Ethan Klein. Honestly, they deserve each other. But Ethan Klein apparently thought it was a good idea to just do that over and over again. He thought he was just like immune to everything. A couple of days ago, Ethan Klein's anti-slap appeal, he already lost the original anti-slap motion, and he appealed it. And he lost the appeal, which pretty much par for the course, I would say. You know, that seems about like what you would expect. So allow me to show you the glory of the lawsuit that Ethan Klein just lost. Oh, he hasn't lost the whole lawsuit yet, technically, but he is certainly fucked. Absolutely certainly fucked. And we're going to get to the Noah Samson lawsuit thread and stuff soon as well. And like, if we go through the, like, most of this ruling is dedicated to just listing the times that Ethan Klein said that he did a Ponzi scheme. It just goes on and on and on. All of this in reaction to like a copyright claim. On and on and on. He lost, and it was ruled that he had to pay. Kavanaugh is entitled to his costs on appeal. So he had to pay Kavanaugh's fees for the appeal. And once you lose an anti-slap motion, defamation is essentially proven. Now they just get down to the damages and the rest of the trial. So you have to understand, he is so fucked here. He is actually fucked. He made statements of fact, like this guy did a Ponzi scheme. That's something that you have to prove or disprove. He didn't actually prove it. He literally made the claim here that it was just a meme. Defendant's contention that the audience interpreted defendant's statements as a meme, even if true, is unavailing. And then there's a citation. A meme is an amusing or interesting item. Oh, I love lawsuits. Or genre of items that is spread widely online, especially through social media. But Kavanaugh presented sufficient enough evidence to establish a prima facie case that the challenged statements were assertions of fact, and defendants do not identify sufficient evidence to disprove the challenged statements are assertions of fact as a matter of law. So this is a cut and dry defamation lawsuit. It was a statement of fact. They were making statements of fact that, at least as far as we know, are unproven. Cut and dry. He's fucked. These two deserve each other. Like, people who love to litigate stuff. I'm glad Kavanaugh is finally getting a win in his litigation, which is more than Ethan Klein can ever say about his frivolous litigation. Though, this isn't frivolous litigation. So that's the reason why Ethan Klein is so desperate to try and frame himself as some sort of legal warrior to his fans, because he's actually a legal loser. He's set to lose so much fucking money here. Like, this guy's gonna take him to the fucking cleaners, actually. Now, Ethan Klein's legal document against Noah Samson is quite a bit different. I'm not going to show it because it doxes me like 50 times throughout, because it's not actually about Noah Samson. He's just like basically like trying to sue Noah Samson for citing me. That's his plan. Like illegal citations of bad empanada. But like the contentions are, you called Ethan Klein a genocide supporter or like a genocide enabler or whatever it was, something like that. Here's the problem with that. That's a matter of opinion. It's not a statement of fact. It's a matter of opinion, because whether or not you support something isn't like you ran a Ponzi scheme. It's a statement of fact. It's something provable or disprovable. You're a genocide supporter. It's something that you can argue for, but it's not something that's like inherently true or false. Like we know by our standards it's true, but it's more of a subjective claim. In the US, these sorts of claims are very well protected by the First Amendment, so you can't just sue someone on that basis. Like, are you a genocide supporter like on the face of it is a matter of opinion? What is genocide is also a matter of opinion. Is what is happening in Gaza genocide is also a matter of opinion. You can't litigate this shit. It's all the way down. It's things that you cannot possibly litigate. The court is not going to decide whether you are right or wrong in what is ultimately an argument. The court can only decide whether you were defamed when someone says that you like did or said something that you didn't do. Statements of fact. They can't fucking litigate an argument for you. Like, he's so fucking stupid that rather than try to make a response video to argue his case, he's going to court and paying his lawyer to essentially present before a court a YouTube argument for him. By the way, his lawyer, I just want to note, and you'll love this one. Now, you might know that Ethan Klein has said repeatedly that West Bank settlers are fair game. Let me just show you a little clip of that from the content nuke Hassan Piker.
The West Bank are religious zealots, they're monsters, they're genocidal. I've even said the West Bank settlers are valid military targets. When you talk about like colonial settlers and stuff, like that's what's actually happening in the West Bank right now. And these people are more or less valid military targets, in my opinion.
Okay. Now. I want to introduce you now. I'm so excited. I want to introduce you to Ethan Klein's lawyer, Ron Bar Nissim. Prior to entering law, Bar Nissim was an English teacher in Israel and the West Bank! I wonder how that discussion goes. Ethan Klein thinks that his lawyer is a valid military target. I wonder how that goes over at lunch. I'm so pro-Palestine that my lawyer is a former West Bank settler, Ron Bar Nissim. That is the most I changed my name to sound more indigenous name you will ever see. It's giving Maximus Aurelius. I said it's giving. So anyway, apart from the lawyer being very funny, aside from that one thing, genocide, Ethan Klein's lawyer tries to claim that Noah Samson saying things like Ethan Klein erroneously cited Saudi Arabian propaganda to try and claim that the Houthis were slavers. He tries to claim that is a defamatory statement. Again, that's a statement about like a fucking argument on like the facts regarding news and history and politics and stuff. You can't litigate that. A judge cannot decide whether that statement is true or false or not. It's an argument. You can't litigate that. And I can show you that part because it doesn't mention my name, but basically the entire rest of the video, his lawyer went and did a very obvious chat. He asked ChatGPT to debunk 2 of my videos. The one about Ethan Klein citing Saudi propaganda to claim that the Houthis are slavers, and another one about Ethan Klein lying about supposed equivalent expulsions of the Nakba to try and legitimize the Nakba. So I shit you not, Ethan Klein essentially paid his lawyer to ask ChatGPT to debunk 2 bad empanada videos. He paid his lawyer easily thousands for this because he is like incapable of debunking the videos himself, so he paid a fucking lawyer to try and do so. Obviously there is no fucking valid legal reason to litigate this shit. You can't litigate an argument over an interpretation of a source. You can't litigate this. What the fuck is this? Check this out, okay? He's like, you attempt to impeach the credibility of the sources relied upon by Ethan. For example, you attack the article entitled Exclusive Houthis Restore Slavery in Yemen from Asharq al-Awsat English version, which by the way is literally a Saudi newspaper owned by the Saudi royal family. The article itself refers to receiving information from, oh my god, I can't believe this, sources close to the group, several local reports, Yemeni activists, a member of the lawyers syndicate in Yemen, and a civilian who works for a pro-Houthi tribal leader in Sada. Other than your blithe assertion that the article contains baseless claims from Saudi state propaganda outlets, you cite no evidence refuting the substance of the article or the sources it relied upon. The sources it relied upon, do you listen to yourself? Sources close to the group, several local reports. It's literally nothing. It's made up. Like I could say, Ron Bar Nissim, according to several local reports, took a big poo-poo in the local river. Several local reports told me, sources close to him told me this. When the article itself does not actually cite fucking anything aside from, dude, trust us, these people definitely exist who we cannot name nor identify told us this, and it's owned by the fucking Saudi royal family currently doing a fucking genocide against the people that it's talking about, yeah, that's made up. That's fucking made up. Citing a source like that is equivalent to citing fucking nothing. It's the same exact thing. And it's like, why did you try and disprove the substance of the sources that it relied upon? Like sources close to the group? Yeah, why did you try and disprove that? Ethan Klein paid someone thousands of dollars to try and debunk my video and to try and sue Noah Samson for citing my video. And then I shit you not, he goes on to state that the United States State Department cited that article, and that is his basis. That is his basis for it being apparently evidence of defamation, which it would, by the way, even if this were true, even if this article was 100% true and good, contesting that fact and saying that you don't believe that it was is not defamation. It can't be defamation. It's a fucking matter of interpretation. It's an argument between 2 fucking YouTubers. You can't litigate this. This is so getting thrown out. Like, are you kidding me? This guy is just driving his reputation through the mud, dealing with Ethan Klein. What the fuck is this? And then he goes on to say, further is evidence you not watch the Al Jazeera World documentary Slavery in Yemen. The documentary focused on Yemen's overall culture of slavery and the deposed government's denials of its existence. Yeah, that has nothing to do with the Houthis. Moreover, it is highly misleading to claim it was issued before the Houthi takeover of Yemen, since the Houthis have controlled parts of Yemen as early as March 2011. Further, the Al Jazeera documentary was released on September 10th, 2014, 6 days before the Battle of Sana'a. So he's like trying to claim that somehow this documentary, which he himself acknowledged, is about the previous government, which the Houthis deposed, somehow proves that the Houthis do slavery, as Ethan Klein claimed. Because of Yemen's overall culture of slavery, even his lawyers are racist shitbags. Unbelievable. Though, to be fair, this was almost certainly not written by him, but imagine presenting this to a court. Like, this is something that even if you were right, you could not litigate. But to be clear, he's just plain fucking wrong. This is fucking absurd. Now, I can't show you a lot of the rest of this because he doxed me in it. I feel like he doxed me in it, like just because he wanted to make it so that I couldn't refute it on my stream, which is basically the sort of thing that Ethan Klein would do. But to give you a taste of what it's like in the rest of it, let me show you just the citations. This is the citations for one page. And you might, if you use or you're familiar with like ChatGPT, what ChatGPT tends to do is it does this ridiculous over-citation thing where it will write one sentence and throw in like 10 different citations, like Wikipedia articles, like encyclopedia entries, like YouTube videos and stuff, all for like one random sentence that probably wouldn't even need a citation. So this is what the citations look like on like one page. Wikipedia, YouTube video, YouTube video, YouTube video, YouTube video, Holocaust Encyclopedia, United States Holocaust Memorial Museum Encyclopedia, Wikipedia, 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 US State Department. He paid his lawyer to ask ChatGPT to debunk my videos. Ethan Klein, in lieu of being able to respond to people criticizing him himself, something that he insists that Hassan Piker is bad for not doing, even though Hassan has already watched 1 billion videos that refuted him. So why does it matter who refuted you or not? It doesn't really matter. But Ethan Klein keeps claiming that Hassan has to refute his content nuke himself or it doesn't count. Ethan Klein paid his lawyer to ask ChatGPT to try and refute 2 of my second channel videos and attempt to try and file a lawsuit over that. To be clear, you can't litigate this. You can't litigate historical interpretations. You can't litigate historical arguments. You can't litigate shit like, I believe this source you cited is bunk. You can't litigate this stuff. This is not a matter for a court to decide, and it's certainly not defamation against you to say that you're wrong about this and say, well, the source that you cited is shit. You can't go to a fucking court and litigate this stuff. This is not defamation. Everything in here is First Amendment protected. The original contention in and of itself is a First Amendment protected matter of free speech. In my opinion, you were a genocide supporter. And the rest of it is like, it's like a historian, rather than writing a rebuttal to another historian who he disagrees with, he just goes to court and accuses the other historian of defamation for saying that he's wrong. Except it's not a historian, it's a YouTuber argument. And rather than attempting to respond to the disagreement on the historical facts with the other YouTubers, Ethan Klein fucking asked his lawyer to write like a threatening letter in which he asked ChatGPT to try and debunk my videos. To be clear, not to sue me, but to sue Noah Samson for citing those videos to disprove Ethan Klein's historical claims. You can't litigate historical arguments. You can't litigate historical interpretations. You can't litigate whether a source is valid to say that Houthis have slaves or not. Even if you were right, you couldn't litigate that. This is fucking comical. Like, for someone who just lost a slap appeal when they made false statements of fact repeatedly against a billionaire, big fucking mistake there. This is like an absurd thing to do. It's like he's trying to nurse his wounds by like getting destroyed in a slap motion himself now. What a fucking joke. Like, ChatGPT Ethan Klein, meet ChatGPT Ethan Klein, Ethan Klein's settler West Bank lawyer. Amazing. One of the other things that he said in a recent stream, which I thought was very funny, is that he's afraid to go out in public now. Ethan Klein is afraid to go out in public. This is someone who He claims that I am like I'm in hiding from all the people who want to come after me and I'm scared to leave my house. And he straight up admits on his stream that he is afraid to go out in public. This is a man of the people. Meanwhile, I just go out every single day. People greet me in the street and they're like, Bad Empanada, will you sign my breasts? And I'm like, no, you slag, get away from me.
Lena, speak up for me.
It's scheduled.
No, we know that's part of the issue.
She's busy.
You scheduled it 1 month ahead.
She's so
Why?
busy. Yeah, yeah,
right,
she's very.
Lena?
What? Who cares? Well, you need a special. You're shaving your head. Go to Supercuts.
I don't go in public.
What?
You could get someone to.
You could go to Supercuts right now.
We're
Be done in
loyal
10 minutes.
You understand about I don't go in public.
No, he's right, Dan.
Yeah,
No, he's right. I mean,
But there's other barbers that come to your house or like could come to the
We don't know that.
This man is afraid to go outside. This is the guy who claims that like I have people coming after me. This is someone who is so afraid of the repercussions of the vile shit that he has said that he's afraid to leave his fucking house. Unbelievable. There was a clip as well where he was like saying, oh, you want to come at me? I do this for fun. This is what I do in my free time in regards to like trying to like stalk and dox people and file frivolous lawsuits against them and shit like that. This is just what I do in my free time. I can play the audio, but I don't want to show the video because he doxes me in it. Okay, now listen to Ethan Klein's incredible rant about me. It's honestly just sad.
But that's okay. None of them are as dedicated, as crazy, and as willing to waste money as I am. So Georgie boy thinks he's safe out there. But he's not. He's just never really come up against someone like me. I'll just be honest. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I have more money than them. I'm more dedicated.
I have more money. Even not every country is like the USA. You can't just file frivolous lawsuits like you can in the USA. Money's not going to get you anywhere else.
Dedicated than them. I've completely fucking...
You're more dedicated? Dude, you're not dedicated at all. You're the laziest fucker in the world.
Thrown every... all these things are like, maybe it's not worth it. That's all gone. Maybe it's not worth it to spend $1 million pursuing some fucking human STD in Argentina. No, that's gone.
You're not going to have $1 million once Kavanaugh's done with you.
See, that's gone. When you guys contributed to an atmosphere in which the CPS was called on my house, when you specifically...
They were calling your house because you yourself said on your own live stream that your kid had contracted the parasite Giardia, and then you went on to say that you thought that it was from eating shit. That's why.
George joked about calling the CPS. When you specifically...
It wasn't a joke, Ethan. It was me all along, Ethan. It was me, Ethan. I called them. CPS would definitely take seriously a phone call from like a person on the other side of the world.
George.
It's so funny how he frames like a CPS visit like swatting still. Still. It's just like swatting. It's literally SWAT. It's the same. Like a bunch of like the SWAT team comes, guns drawn, and they like point the guns at your kid. That's what he wants his dumb teenage fans to believe. It's so fucking funny. Like it's a traumatic experience.
Suggested I was lying about the CPS coming to my house when you...
Yeah, I still do suggest that because you provide no evidence of it, and until extraordinary claims made with no evidence can be discarded out of hand, you've still provided nothing. Where's the paperwork? Where's like the video? You know, I'm pretty sure you have the right to record like your meeting with the CPS officer or take a picture of them or something. There's nothing. Where is that? Provide evidence for us.
George specifically propagated this whole thing by saying that my kids were crawling around and eating shit.
I didn't say that. You did.
Potentially eating shit. You opened it. You welcome to my world, baby. You know what I mean?
No one will ever be in your sad little world, Ethan. No matter how low I fall, I am always consoled by the fact that I will never fall that low.
Let's fucking get it, dude.
And there's literally nothing you can do. That's the great thing. I could say anything that I wanted about you, and you can't do anything about it, Ethan.
I've been in a lawsuit with Brian Kavanaugh now for like over 3 years, and I've spent...
Oh, yeah, we went over that. You're going to... Listen.
Countless hundreds of thousands. To me, this is just fucking...
It's going to be a lot more than just hundreds of thousands. Try millions, Ethan. Try many millions. He's going to be docking your pay for centuries.
Just like my free time.
This is just my free time. Let's listen to that again. Live replay.
Countless hundreds of thousands. To me, this is just like my free time.
This is your free time? This is your free time, Ethan? Ethan, your free time is like filing frivolous lawsuits because of YouTube arguments that you're too stupid to actually engage with on the facts and the evidence? Your free time? That's the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. You don't have a hobby, you don't have interests, you don't have friends, you don't have like anything else to do. I mean, you have 3 kids, but evidently you're not the one who's taking care of them. Your free time is just thinking about your internet grudges with people who you have a hurt ego about because they refuted your videos and you couldn't actually deal with that. So you try and file frivolous lawsuits against them. That's your free time. You are not realizing how pathetic you sound. You think you sound like the fucking Joker or something. I mean, you do sound like a Joker, but you don't sound like the Joker. You sound like the saddest, most pathetic man in the entire world. You sound like you were on the fucking brink of just ending it, man. You need help. You don't need more frivolous slap lawsuits that are going to get fucking destroyed at the first attempt to even get through an anti-slap motion. You need desperate help. You have millions of dollars and this is your life. You could be traveling the world on luxury cruise ships without working a day ever again. And this is what you do instead. You sue like YouTubers and try to get your lawyer to write rebuttals of their videos for you. Like, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen. I want to show you the next part is very funny as well.
I don't know how you handle it. For me, this is just like, this is a Sunday breeze, okay?
This is how you spend your Sundays, man. You should be spending them with your children, Ethan.
So yeah, we're gonna be working with Argentinian lawyers, investigators, police, and we are going to be basically exploring all.
He's going to be exploring all avenues to hold me accountable. He's going to be working with lawyers, investigators, police. Dude, can you imagine, like, you're a police officer and you get a filing for a guy from like another country, and it says, this guy said that I eat poop on the internet. This guy said that I eat poop on the internet. Can you do something about this? This guy said that I eat poop on the internet. So here's what's going to happen, okay? He's going to hire like a lawyer. And the second that the lawyer's going to be coy with his fees. Usually lawyers are paid up front in Latin America. You pay them up front. What this lawyer is going to do is the second that he realizes who Ethan Klein is, he's going to charge him by the hour like 20 times his normal fee. Usually in Argentina, for a defamation trial, you would say, the lawyer would agree with you, okay, pay me $10,000 and I'll see this whole process through from the beginning to the end. What this guy is going to do is he's going to be charged by the hour. They're going to milk the fuck out of him. And to be clear, I will fucking froth at the mouth to be sued in Argentina by Ethan Klein for defamation, to get all of the shit about like him talking about poop on the record. Do you know what the worst thing that can happen to in Argentina is as a result of defamation? I would like to show you. So in Argentina, the most popular TV presenter in the country is this guy named Eduardo Feynman. 4 years ago, he lost a defamation trial because live on television, he said straight up that a guy murdered someone. Like he was having a beef with some guy, and he said the guy killed someone. He accused this guy of murder on live TV on the most popular news station in the entire country. What do you think happened there? Literally, like, accusing someone of fucking murder. After a 2-year trial, he was fined $200. Not damages. There were no damages involved. He was fined $200. He didn't even have to retract on air. It gets better. It gets better. He appealed this. I don't know why. It's $200. But just to be a cunt, just to be a right old cunt, he appealed this ruling, which was regarding him factually accusing someone of murder, literal murder, live on air, on TV, as the most popular public figure in the country in terms of like news media. What happened? He appealed it and he was absolved. It was decided that accusing someone of murder on live TV cannot be considered defamation. He literally said about like a former soldier that he had killed like one of his compatriots in cold blood. And the court decided that what he said cannot be actioned. Now, imagine if you go to the Argentine court system and you're like, this guy said that I said live on air that my kid got a parasite, and then I said that you get this parasite from eating shit. Something that he factually said. What is the worst thing that you could think could happen? Like, I could literally not even go to court. I could literally do nothing, and like I would not be in any trouble at all. However, I would do something because, like, dude, this shit is nothing. Like, for the fun of it, I would absolutely defend myself just so that we could have, like, in Argentine public record, like a bunch of like 50-point like legal filings going over all the times that Ethan Klein has talked about shit, all the times that he talked about like eating shit, or him talking about giardia, him talking about like his kid crawling around, putting everything in his mouth, as he said, and then like we could get that out there for everyone to see. Like, I wouldn't even care. I would get like the shittiest lawyer in the world to do this because it's not even worth actually trying to defend myself with real money in a case like this because the consequences are nothing. Just because I want to get it on the record because it's fucking hilarious. This guy tries to litigate someone claiming that something that he actually said happened, which was him saying, oh, my entire family has giardia. And then his crew is like, but how do you get giardia? And he's like, you have to eat my shit. I want that to be a court case. Like, imagine litigating that. He's going to go to the police about it. And I'd love to see him as well try to argue in court that getting a visit from CPS is like some sort of risk to his person or something, because that would be really funny as well. A court would be like, well, CPS is like the fucking government child protection agency. Getting a visit from CPS is not like you were attacked by terrorists or something. Like he tries to frame it like I hired a hitman or something. That's how he frames like someone calling CPS. I have never felt less threatened by anything in my entire life, and he thinks he's like the Joker or something. It's fucking incredible. Like he's used to living in a country where you can just file frivolous lawsuit after frivolous lawsuit against people and like basically threaten them into silence because they don't want to deal with the trouble even though they would beat you. So I will note that everyone should stand back and stand by because with his supposed lawsuit against Noah, which I don't think is actually going to be going through with, I have privileged information and I can tell you that Ethan Klein has united forces far beyond his power and his reckoning. He has united people who go way beyond him, and things are not going to be going very well for him in the future. When Ethan Klein hears about what we have organized for him, he is going to throw an absolute fucking fit. He's going to have a mental fucking breakdown. He has made pretty much the biggest mistake he ever could have made. You'll know when you see it what I'm talking about. I'm not going to be the one who's announcing it. I am involved, but I'm not the main guy here. You're gonna see someone way bigger than me, with way more money than me, with way more power than me, and way more than Ethan announcing it. And this person has on their side way more people just like them who Ethan Klein is going to be fucking scared into submission just at the very prospect of having these people taking action against him. Because there is no better way to deal with a vexatious litigant than people with fuck off money, way more fuck off money than he could ever hope to have, throwing it right back at him. Let's just say that he's going to regret the imputations of pedophilia against me. He's going to regret ever mentioning the word lawsuit, not just against me, but against many other people. He's going to regret ever mentioning against Hassan Piker, against Denims, against Frogan, against whatever other people, that Reddit moderators, against anyone else who is threatening here, because he has basically ensured his own downfall by doing this. And you will know when you see it what I am talking about. I'm not, as I said, I will not be the one announcing it, but you will know when you see the announcement.
Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have the hard point.
Available for tasking.
Deploying RCXD.
UAV established overhead.
Hostiles have captured the hard point. Hard point identified.
Mission timeline expired. UAV RTB.
Hard point active. Hard point locked down.
All right, so let's continue. So I want to point out here that a lot of foreign media, this is one little point before we get to the video. A lot of foreign media is bringing attention to the most heinous of Johnny's charges. For example, the child harassment charges. And by the way, it's not just child harassment, it is child S harassment. I'll just say S because I don't want to get in trouble. But it is not a minor crime. It is a serious crime that has up to 10 years in prison. So very, very serious. I'm happy that other media outlets are picking that up. It's quite good. And I'm very happy to see the news is getting out about RKI. Now, here is RKI and some new footage of him talking about what he is going to do at the next court hearing. Listen in to this video here.
What do you think about the KKK outfit at the court? Is that too crazy? The same one kind of had.
Bro, I know it's a wonderful idea, but you won't even have a platform. You'll just get automatic ban.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna get my Instagram deleted again. You're saying
it's a wonderful idea. I'm not gonna lie. But you can't do that and have a platform.
I really want to do the KKK, but
I know it's a good idea, but like why isn't there anybody else doing the stunt?
Yeah, you're right. There's no one else in the world is doing that. You're right. I haven't seen anybody but Kanye do that. So what could I do at the court? I'm gonna have reporters talking to me at the court, like in 2 days. Like the Korean news is coming. The last time I flipped them off and I said I love North Korea.
Oh my God!
I swear to God, I did.
He did do that. In his defense, he did do that. So talking about wearing a KKK outfit to the court, right, which includes a hood and all that good stuff. Trying to be, I guess he said he's trying to be Kanye. Once again, that would be contempt of court, pretty sure. Pretty solid contempt of court there. Wow. And, all of this because he wants to draw attention to himself. All of this because he wants to get clout. He wants to get negative attention, and he's going to do this to himself, right? Whether or not he actually does it, I don't think he would have it, right? But that said, maybe Hank will knit it for him. Hank may or may not know how to knit a KKK outfit. Just saying. But that said, he might or might not have minored in ultra nationalistic tailoring. But that said, it's just insane. It's just unhinged, and it's unapologetic. It shows he has no respect for the court. He continues to want to commit contempt of court. And in Korea, contempt of court can be committed inside the courtroom, outside the courtroom, or on public broadcast. This is a public broadcast. So he is once again attempting to say, hey, I'm going to do something to make a mockery of the court. I'm going to do something to create a spectacle, right? That could be contempt of court. It's nuts. I can't make this stuff up, guys. It's crazy. All right, let's watch this one. Now, this one is really bad, guys. This is 2 minutes. Warning, there are racial slurs in here. There's a lot of bad language. This was him when he was in the station. And there's some comments here that I want you guys to pay attention to because they are very, very bad. So let's roll the tape here.
I've been to this police station 20 times. It's the first time they can put me in cuffs. I've been to this police station 20 different times.
But like, they put you. Where do they think you're gonna go? You're like, why are you in cuffs? That doesn't make any sense.
I love how stupid his callers are in Community. Like, as if police don't put people who are arrested in cuffs. They always will put you in cuffs if you're arrested. Obviously, right? I mean, that's an almost always happening thing. Perhaps if you voluntarily walked into the station and you turned yourself in and it's for a non-violent, non-serious crime, maybe they're going to go without the cuffs. But generally, when you're under arrest, particularly for dancing crazy, particularly when he resisted arrest, because he kept saying, arrest me, arrest me, arrest me. He forced them to put cuffs on him. So like, he's trying to act like he doesn't know why there's cuffs.
I just shipped my pants!
We've given up the lead.
I'm not coming home. I'm staying in Costa Rica. I'm gonna live there. April Fools! First of all, everything's in Spanish and prices are in the colonas.
World of T-Shirts is back in the similar grind that he's been doing for some time. He's traveling to different countries. He's wearing the same green pants since St. Patrick's Day, flying on international flights, just stinking that whole fucking place up. Can't control himself. He even had another fish incident recently. Now, I wasn't really sure how I was going to present this in the video because you know, there's a decent chance I would get taken down for the implication of things, but needless to say, Josh, his track record with animals, not great. Not a great look from good old Joshy Poo here, but instead, we're gonna fixate on some of his hygiene issues. You know, he's been a little bit of a stinky boy over the last, I don't know, 2 years. And it's only gotten worse and worse and worse. And it sort of stemmed from, there's this other guy, I've never really heard of him before, named Bassmaster or something like that, who interacted with Mr. Based and Josh was just, he wasn't feeling him. He didn't want to interact with him. He didn't want to collab with him. He didn't want to do any of that. And he was just having a hard time because his eyes are on the prize, and the prize are running down the street trying to find his next liquor bottle he can down, all right? So stop asking him questions.
No, I don't want to stay at
Please.
No.
Do you know how many people would love to be invited to stay at Bassmaster's house?
No.
Just stay for a couple days.
I said no.
All right. All right.
I'm fine.
Please, Josh.
No.
No, I was thinking like fast forward.
Shut the fuck up. I said no. I said it a dozen times. Nothing's gonna change that.
And it's a bit surprising, and I apologize. Bassmaster, not Bassmaster Saturated, you stupid bitch. Josh would collaborate with anybody. We've seen him go on all these different trips with the Duncan guy, with Adam 22, going all over the place interacting with people. But no, an acquaintance of Mr. Bass, we're not having that. We're not dealing with that. I just want to get out of this car right now and chase people down the street. All right, you think I have time to go to your luxury house to stay in? We ain't doing that. Now, unfortunately for Josh, right, he has these interactions. He's doing a stream with these guys, and you know, Mr. Based, always on the hunt, always on the prowl to get the next big juicy content, you know, so I can sink my teeth into and saturated content can make a commentary video about. And it just so happens that they are discussing Josh's lack of hygiene and how he smells like wet hay and or a homeless person.
Well, I think he can smell better and worse on different days. And one day was like, it did smell.
You're correct about that.
And, yeah, when he was sitting in your chair and he got up, it was like, wow. You know, but that's just, you know, somebody that's not showering regularly enough. And it is what it is. It's fine. But then yesterday he was at my house, and to be honest with you, dude, there's a certain smell that I recognize on a lot of homeless people, and he has that. He slightly has that smell.
How would you describe that smell?
Best way I can describe it is like hay. Like, you know, hay in a barn?
Yeah, you're right. I do smell that around Josh a little. But hay isn't a terrible smell, though. Right?
Exactly. That's why I don't mind the homeless smell. Dirt of the world.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen his fingernails at times. They're so caked thickly with dirt. It's like it almost looks like they're painted, like two-tone, you know?
Yeah, and I know clipping nails for some autistic people is a challenge.
I think like all the maintenance it takes to have proper hygiene is like an overwhelming amount of shit to do for him, I'm guessing, the way he looks at it.
Because if he's only going to shower once a week, make it count, you know? He's probably not even showering once a week, I would imagine.
I've offered him $1,000 to go shower privately at my house, you know, while we're streaming in the living room, and he won't do. Like, I've tried really hard. That's one of the things I've never been able to accomplish is to get him to actually shower. And it's an important one, but it's much harder than you're making it sound.
Well, yeah, well...
He just lies and says he did it, and then he didn't do it. You know what I mean?
This is a tough look, right? You know, and Josh obviously doesn't really care. There's no real ramification to him because people are gonna keep, Mr. Base isn't gonna turn him away because he's too much of a stinky boy, all right? But $1,000, I know, and we'll get to this a little bit later. Josh has been, you know, we started out with him saying, I only make 60 grand a year. I can't do this anymore. Now he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, allegedly. So $1,000 is nothing, Mr. Base. You're gonna have to amp those numbers up if you want to see some decent hygiene off of this boy. And it just, you know, it makes my spine shiver a little bit because, you know, not to brag, but I shower basically every single day. I know a bit of a flex. I'm sorry, you know, I get the scrub-a-dub-dub and I'm going to town with it. But, you know, with Josh, I just start to think, you know, I've seen Cyrax, I've seen Cobes, and I see bugs start to form. They start to come out of nowhere. And I'm like, this dude is literally drinking himself to death and running down streets and living in the gutter and doesn't clean himself. I can't imagine. I can't, just picture this in your head. Take your two, you know, your middle finger and your index finger, rub it against your arm, all right? Now imagine what that would feel like if you did that to Josh's arm. That's all I'm trying to say, right? I'm just saying, the vibe's probably just a little bit off. Just a teensy bit off. And, you know, we get it a little bit worse. So for some reason, Josh, when he's doing his live streams, he doesn't really have an understanding of the social construct of where you should and should not stream yourself. It just so happens that for some reason recently, he chose to live stream himself in the bathroom, and I'm sure his hygiene in there was just A+, just supreme.
Right there. Wait. What's going on? Right there.
I think I backed it up again. Oh my God. I had to shit big.
So these are two different splice clips, all right? I'm not gonna pull a fast one over on you, all right? The other time was Mr. Base trying to get content. This time was Josh literally live streaming himself taking a shit in the bathroom. And then he backs it up. It's just too much, you know, the forces of Jaeger and whatever, you know, Mike's Hard Lemonade combined together with oysters. Just, it's too much for the New York City sewer system. And unsurprisingly, he doesn't wash his hands out the door. He also brings his drink into the bathroom with him. And it's just like, it's grossness like this, right? But it's like, it's kind of expected. You know, your expectations whenever you watch anything related to Josh should be at like below ground level. You're in the basement at this point. There's no real redemption associated with that, and you're just kind of stuck here watching him just slowly decay. And then we get to see some more like public interactions of how stinky he is and how dirty he is with other people. He went on another one of those, like, I don't even know how to describe them, air quote dating shows where the guy stands there and they bring out like a carousel of different women and then they like roast each other, but they pretend like this is a date or whatever. I don't know who the target audience is. It's not me. You know, I'm over here fucking picking my nose. I can't be bothered. So whatever. You know, he has a nice date with this lovely lady and they start to talk about personal hygiene and how to take care of yourself, and it doesn't go very well.
You see those? Like, no, your nails look nasty as fuck. Like, come on.
I didn't clean. Hold on. I'll do it.
You're gonna do it? Like, look at that. Come on, dog. Like, you're not, you're not touching me. Bite. Go to Ling Ling. No. Oh my God. Stop it.
Come on.
Give me that.
Come on, stop it.
Oh my God.
I know how to use a nail clipper. I know. I don't brush my nails when I'm in the shower.
So that means, well, how are you gonna keep yourself clean? You can't keep me clean. You can't keep the house clean. You can't keep nothing clean. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter.
It don't matter. I'm trying to he try to be clean.
It doesn't matter.
You have to keep a woman with clean nails. Like, you can't have dirty nails.
I'm beautiful.
Josh, how does she smell?
You're 1 out of 10.
Josh wanted to call her a bitch so bad. You know, his instincts were kicking in, but you know, she's bigger than him. The fight probably wouldn't go down super well, but I don't know if you want some like feces riddled claws just slicing into you. So maybe Josh has his own like poison immunity that keeps people away, kind of like a, you know, wild animal in the Amazon rainforest, you know, keeping the predators off your back by just being a real big stinky boy. And watch him trying to clip his fingers with the nail clippers was just brutal. I've seen it before. So I mentioned in the past I used to watch a lot of, you know, Jason Genova, Delray Misfits stuff. There was a clip of Jason Genova trying to clip his toenail, and he just like rips at it. He like cuts it at first and then just rips at it. And that's sort of what Josh was doing, giving me a bit of anxiety. I don't like seeing that. And speaking of which, you know, in the previous episode of World of T-Shirts, we discussed how Josh potentially got diagnosed with pancreatitis, and it's probably affiliated or related to his alcohol consumption. Now, he's gone a little bit of time without a big flare-up, and we still don't technically know for certain. Josh obviously said it wasn't pancreatitis, it's some sort of abdominal issue, whatever. Well, it's back again, and he's just sitting there having a rough time.
Josh, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? Does that make those girls leave us? They did, right? What's that? You alright? Are you gonna vomit? What's going on?
So he has to sort of get into this mode, right? You know, we see it a lot whenever he's drinking. He gets into this mindset after he has one sip of alcohol where his body's like, I ain't dealing with that. Now he's just sitting there doing nothing. And his body is just like, you know, DEFCON 20. You get this bro out of here, put him in a hospital. Can't be dealing with that. And at the same time, so we have like instances like that, and I wanted to make sure that we still included some classic freakouts from Josh, because I think that's some of the most enjoyable moments. To see, you know, the cult of personality that is built around Josh over the past year is pretty bizarre. For the most part, when I first started talking about him last summer, I felt like he could go out places and not really get recognized by anybody, and nowadays it's like he can't go anywhere without a group of people forming, and we get stuck with this situation where, you know, I forget what they're called, but you know, people in the community call them like saviors or whatever, trying to protect Josh from the horrible evil people trying to aggravate him, and it doesn't go super well here.
Spitting's bad, Josh. Don't do that. Stop spitting, Josh. Stop it. Stop it. Josh, come back in the house. Please. All right, let's go. No. Oh! It's okay. All right, let's go in the house. Go in the house. You made your point. Go in the house. Go. Run in the house. Go. These are nice people with us. Go. Come on.
What? You want it? You want it? Josh, come back in the house. Josh.
And I didn't even hear anybody say put the fries in the bag, and he's already going on his meltdown. He can't control himself. Throwing a free beer, that was a gesture of peace. You know, that was an offering to become best friends, sing Kumbaya together, and understand you can have a nice little drinky poo. But no, he's just gonna smash it on the ground. He can't be dealing with that shit. He doesn't want to deal with it, all right? He just wants to go out and party hardy, all right? And that's what he's gonna do.
The star of our show, Mr. Joshua Block. How are you, Josh? All right, so McSorley is across the street.
We're not going anywhere.
We're totally not going. You want to see if they recognize us with the wigs?
Yes.
Do you want to go to standings?
Standings. We could try and see.
Yeah, that's a good one. This is way out of the way of those punks, right?
Yeah.
So this
Believe me, I've tried to sneak into McSorley's with a pink wig. It did not work.
this is some sort of like late stage dystopian civilization footage I feel like you would find. This would be like the precursor films at the beginning of a Mad Max film, where it's like, here are the final days of civilization before everything went to shit. Here's a 50-year-old convicted felon and a 30-year-old mid-20s autistic alcoholic man wearing wigs walking down the street discussing which bars he hasn't been banned from, which is kind of surprising. You know, I like my nice hole in the wall type of bar, but I'm not getting rowdy enough to go bananas and get banned from places. And obviously, you know, you start towing the line a little bit once you start live streaming everything you're doing. If you're taking your drinks and your dirty claws into the bathroom and just taking a massive dump, it's gonna rub some people the wrong way. But Josh is always looking on the bright side of things. You know, he sees all of us as being little peons. Now in the past, he was a little peon. He was a little baby boy. You know, he couldn't afford a lawyer. He couldn't fly all over the country. He couldn't do any of that. But times have changed, and we are gonna rue this day.
I need 400 grand and you no loser, 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 loser. I'm gonna call the cops.
Can't be loved by everybody. Come on, Josh.
400 grand a year.
He's a loser. He's a loser. Shh.
I need
Quiet,
400
quiet.
grand
Quiet.
and you don't.
You know he's a loser.
Yes, I do.
You know he's a
Yes,
loser.
I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I understand for all the broke boys that are out there that are feeling kind of bad. You know, Josh is making 400 grand a year. It's probably not reflecting super well for yourself. You got to go to the ball crushing facility every single week. It's hard work, and all he has to do is get drunk and fall into the streets. I mean, that's a difficult time, but you can just reflect. He can say, I make 400 grand and you don't. Well, you can just, you know, respond back. Let's own him. Let's own him. I'm going to live to be 40. Oh, burn. You know, it's just like, I don't know how I've reached this point in my life where I'm I'm arguing with a perennial alcoholic man who lives in a city that I don't live in, and is just, we're beefing over it. You know, we'll make it to 40. You know, that's one bonus. And there's this all-timer clip which I want to show where Josh is literally running down the street and some dude is filming this from like the rooftop, and it is just cinematic gold.
I make 400 grand and you don't. I make 400 grand and
This is like the cut scene or like the post-credit scene in a Marvel movie where, you know, the villain escapes from the prison and he's running down the street singing jollily, so you know that you know, I insert superhero villain here movie part 2 is coming out, and you just get so amped up for that. Now, sort of as a continuation of the previous clips of him walking around talking about how braggadocious he is, how cool he is. Well, unfortunately for him, he's got people following him around, and now he's got a guy who's doing drive-by, put the fries in the bags, and Josh doesn't understand how this man keeps finding him.
I'm scared. Get him away.
You're not scared. Come on.
What's he gonna do to me?
Taking the objective.
No, Josh, no. No, please, Josh. My house. No one's after you. No one. No one's after you. Run to my house. Go to my house. Go to my house. Go to my house.
Go!
No, it's 20 feet. Go. Go forward. Run forward. Run. Go. Run to my house. Stop it. Stop. You're going to hit my car. Stop. Run.
In the back. How'd you find me again?
Go.
This damn country.
We're
I
almost
want
in
to
the
go
house.
home to Italy.
No, we're almost in the house.
This damn country.
Up the stairs,
I want
Josh.
to go home to Italy.
We almost saw Josh retaliate against Mr. Bass, his one true lover. I'm not, you know, there is trouble in Hollywood at this point. He's about to bash him with the tripod, you know, giving Mr. Bass some flashbacks to what was going on with Alex Norvell. I don't know. It, you know, history likes to repeat itself a little bit, but they end up going back to the apartment and doing whatever. It was a typical type of Joshua Block, Mr. Based stream type of thing, but I thought it was worthwhile to discuss some of his hygiene issues. It's become more prevalent. As I said at the beginning, those like green pants he's been wearing, he's worn them for like almost a month straight. And obviously, I mean, here's a crazy idea I've never even considered. He's not washing his clothes, right? You think when he does change his clothes, you think he just throws them in like a trash bag and just gets ready to throw them on another time? I'm actually curious about that because he's living in and out of hotel rooms and in different countries. He's not going to a laundromat. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll leave you with this final clip, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Josh, no, don't end it. No, don't end those streets. It's so good. No, Josh, no.
Here's what I do. I drink the beer, and then it's time to piss, and I just piss in the cooler.
The Oddcast podcast was a call-in show that was hosted by a man named BT. Also, his first name is Nicholas, and his buddies, where they would get drunk, get trolled, and freak out online. It's comprised of some really regrettable and just downright insane comments said by BT.
Okay, hold on a second.
No.
Can I say something? Can I say something, sir? Okay, let me say something, okay? Every guy has philia in him, and let me tell you why.
They don't.
All of the trolling has led BT to go on rage-filled rants and bannings, leaving no troll untouched.
Timeout T Martin 69. Timeout fucking Slimy. Timeout G. I don't give a fuck with G, man. Just time him out. I'm not even a bad guy. I don't give a fuck if he says, BT, you're the nicest guy. They time him the fuck out.
Charlie, locked down. They're taking
He's also repeatedly not followed through with promises to his audience, including a cash prize for trivia that he didn't pay out. Money insecurity is going to be a reoccurring issue with BT from here on out.
Settle this payment with a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover. Now, if you're having a hard time repaying your debt, we can also go into liquidation.
I'm not paying you shit, man. I ain't giving you nothing, bro. You can call me any day of the week. It's gonna end with me telling you to go yourself, bro. I'm not paying you 50,000 bits on an answer that you've Googled, man. We don't. You cheated.
BT always liked to masquerade that he was giving back to his audience and would do things like host comedy nights. These comedy nights would lead to BT's fragile ego getting tainted and him freaking out and shouting at everyone.
Thank you so much. Hey, so I have a joke I think y'all will appreciate. Listen, I haven't told this joke in a while, so allow me to, unravel it. So, well, it's not really a joke. I mean, hold on. No, this really did happen to me. But I heard it. Okay, I'll just tell you.
Even when someone tries to step in and help him out with his lame-ass jokes, he lashes out at them.
I was driving down I-35 from Texas to Oklahoma. Please allow me to come right here. Thank you. So I was driving from Texas to Oklahoma, right? And I got pulled over.
What type of smoke?
Great joke.
All right. Yo. All right. Don't talk until they're done.
Hey, shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. Hey, man, why'd you kick me off, motherfucker? Why'd you kick me off?
Right. In the end, he can't take this shit no more and just leaves. Says, I'm not doing this anymore.
Isn't it crazy? Like, this is the one time in the history, if you boo me again, if you boo me again, I'll end this motherfucker now. If you boo one more time and we're done. Watch. I'm going to exit right now. I'm going to cancel. Boo me one more time and I'm leaving the room. Oh my God, dude, I'm leaving right now. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.
A Sisyphus-like struggle occurs where BT tries to build a community, and that community resents him and constantly tries to get him in trouble, especially with the police.
Same thing happened last night. Yeah. So what's the bottom line? Next time that we have to come after this, the cops gonna come and take you out of jail. No more of this shit.
A traditional tactic by the trolls was to send disgusting pizzas to BT's house, mostly consisting of like anchovies or fish, oysters, things like that. Whatever gluten-free things, I mean, things that you don't want to eat were going to be sent to his house, which, to own the trolls, he took a page out of King Cobra JFS's book and would eat it on camera talking about how gross it is, or give it to a buddy to try it out.
Hey man, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, bro. God bless you, man. Hey man, let me ask you a question. What you know what this pizza is?
That's gluten-free.
It's a gluten-free pizza? Huh?
It's on the...
All right, man, just go. All right, have a good night, man.
Yeah.
Go. Get out of my house. Get out.
This made me realize that BT and the Oddcast podcast and all the other gaggle of random people that would show up on the show have very striking resemblances to many other locales that we've covered.
God damn it. It's very rich. It probably tastes better fresh.
Can we get a
Willy update?
Willie dead.
Can we get a Willy update?
Willie dead.
Can we get a Willy update?
Willie dead.
Can we get a Willy update?
Willie dead.
I thought my cats were giving me asthma, and so I put my cats in a box and I gave them to the Humane Society.
So I took a 5-gallon bucket and I was like, bloop. And I basically I left the bucket on top of him because the cat couldn't move the bucket.
You swing at me, you're gonna swing at me, and I'm gonna block your shit. I'm gonna put you in a inhaler, I'll put you to sleep, bro.
Just please swing at me. If you're gonna swing at me, dude. Let me know.
He said I'm sorry. Those places I just... Oh, okay. Oh, you didn't get no sausage?
I'm sorry, man. I just can't eat enough, man. I'm really hungry, bro.
Okay.
Hey, do you mind if I have a slice of pizza? Okay, I'm just gonna have a piece.
Gone forever.
Everybody's out to get me for why? I've never done anything to anybody. I'm a good person.
You all know Leslie's mean to me. I'm a good person. Tony Masker would tell Leslie.
If you don't give me fucking money or you don't give me positive comments, then you can get the fuck out.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
I have the potential to make a lot of money.
I'm losing out on over $10 million.
To this point, I'm kind of shocked that no one has covered this man in extreme detail outside of clips and archive channels, mostly because of how much he embodies all of different locale traits. BT's descent into madness has been one of the most hilarious and enjoyable experiences I've had since covering oddballs online. BT lives in